price all power to the planet of the discounts and games under £20 PSN sales. This is a really big sale and it's got a ton of games in it. I will warn you though, a lot of games in this sale are more expensive than they are normally on sale, so be careful which games you pick up because you might end up paying more than you should for a lot of them. If I haven't included them in this video, then I can't really guarantee that you're getting a good deal on the rest. But hey, if you like finding some cool new games to play and saving a lot of money along the way, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and then you won't miss a good deal again. You're welcome here anytime. This sale ends on the 26th of February, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. First up, we have a Juggler's Tale. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on at least an 85% discount for the price of £1.79 or £1.19 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for a cool looking game. In this puzzle platformer, you get to play as Abby, the circus marionette, as you explore a cinematically grim medieval fairy tale on your way to freedom, making use of your puppet strings to complete the unique puzzles and traversing the dangerous landscape along the way. Now you should know by now I'm a big fan of puzzle platformers. A lot of them are really fun to play and they're all very different, so whether you've played 1 or 50 of them, there's usually something new in each game, which is really cool. Now most puzzle platformers are 2D, and they're really cool. They usually have really good graphics, and especially the aesthetics of the graphics are really cool. And this game's quite unusual in that it's got 3D graphics, but they're really nice. The backgrounds especially are really well done, and it gives you a really cool feeling like you're in an actual world. It just screams high production values, and it looks like a really good quality game. So if you're a fan of puzzle platformers like me, why not take a look at this game? It may be a little indie game that most people have never heard of, but if you like this sort of thing, I think you'll have a lot of fun if you give it a chance. And hey, if you've never played a puzzle platformer before, then you could definitely start here. It's a really good quality game at a really good price. There is a lot of competition in this genre, but at this price, you're getting good quality for your money, so you can't ask for much more really. Pretty much the only reason I'd say not to pick it up is if you're not interested in the genre at all, or if you don't like the theme. Like I said, there's a load of games in this genre. If you're not into the marionette theme and the story, then don't worry, there'll be plenty more for you to choose from in future videos instead. We have an adventure game next, Alba, a wildlife adventure. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on at least an 80% discount for the price of £3.19 or £2.39 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal for a really cool looking adventure game. In this game, you visit your grandparents on a Mediterranean paradise where you get to explore the local wildlife, taking pictures, and saving animals in trouble around the island. It features a really relaxing and calm natural environment to explore, and just in general looks like a really cool chill game. So if you're into adventures that are a bit fun and relaxing, then you'll really enjoy this. There's a lot of chill relaxing activities in the game, like taking pictures and documenting the wildlife, but there's also RPG elements and a story as well. So if you like good quality games that are as relaxing as they are fun, why not check this out? It looks really cool, and I think it'll be a really pleasant experience for anyone that likes this sort of game. And hey, if you've never played an adventure game before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. It's at a pretty good price, but you can get other adventure games for about the same price, or not much more as well, and the others will be more typical of the genre, plus you can get big AAA ones for not much more as well. So if you're really keen on this, then go for it, but if not, you'll have plenty more options in this genre, and also in other genres as well. So don't miss the future videos, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. Our next game is Andro Dunos 2. It was released in 2022, so it's 3 years old, and is on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.29, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for a cool looking game. In this side-scrolling shooter, you get to pilot a deadly space fighter sent to finally end the long war against an alien threat. It features a variety of different weapons to collect and level up, with music by Alistair Brimble, famous for arcade soundtracks. So if you're a big fan of old arcade games or MAME, then you'll probably really enjoy the music in this game. I love the artwork on the store for this. The background on the intro page is brilliant. It's such a great classical drawing they used to get in the old arcade machines and old games back in the 80s and 90s. I really miss that. The artwork on games these days is not artwork, it's just pictures from the game. I really wish they'd bring the illustrations back. They were really cool, and I think they add a lot to the boxes, although they don't really exist these days in the digital world. Either way, I love the artwork, bring it back. Now, in general, I don't play a lot of side-scrolling shooters, but there are a few over the years that I've really enjoyed. I like them more than the vertical shooters, generally speaking, and this looks like a really good one. It's from a series that's got real pedigree, and it's a sequel to one from the golden era, which means it's got great history, and more likely to be really enjoyable. I really like the look of this one. My gut says it's a really good game, so if you're into this genre, you should check it out. I don't know this genre that well, but I think it's a good one, and it's probably a hidden gem for people that like this genre. so if you like the look of it, definitely check it out. I think it's a game that deserves more attention. And hey, if you've never played a side-scrolling shooter before, then you could definitely start here. It's a game from a franchise with real pedigree, and it's at a really low price as well, so you're getting real quality for your money, and I think it's well worth the money. So if you've ever wanted to try this genre, or you're just tempted by this game, why not take a look? I think it's well worth your time and money. We have a roguelike next, Crown Trick. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £3.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal. In this roguelike RPG, you're empowered with the elements of the Crown, where you get to explore a procedurally generated labyrinth full of enemies, bosses, and treasure. It features a battle system where enemies only move when you do, for a unique strategy experience. Now, there's a huge amount of roguelike games around. They're massively popular these days, but there is a lot of variation in them as well, so it kind of justifies the amount of games that come out in this genre. Now, this looks like a pretty cool one. The strategy battle system it's got, I've seen in other games where enemies only move when you do, so if you stop moving, the game effectively pauses, which makes it really good for strategy and planning out what you're going to do next. It's a cool system, and not everyone will like it, but if you're a strategy sort of player, then you'll probably really enjoy the battle system. So if you're into roguelikes, and especially 2D ones with cool ideas, and you really like the sound of this battle system, then you should check this out. There's a load of games in this genre, but people who like this genre will know whether this one speaks to them or not, and if you like the sound of it, then check it out. I think it's a great game if you're into these sorts of things. And hey, if you've never played a roguelike before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. It's a pretty good and unique one, but it's not that cheap yet, so you can get others cheaper than this, or about the same price, and even bigger AAA ones for about the same price as well, so you're much better off starting with one of those games instead. So don't forget to watch the videos, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. Far Lone Sales is our next game. It was released in 2019, so it's 5 years old, and it's on at least an 85% discount for the price of £1.79 or £1.19 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, for PS Plus members only, so if you've got PS Plus, this is a great deal for you. In this adventure game, you get to drive a unique vehicle across a dried out ocean, discovering a long dead civilization lost to the sands of time. Can you maintain your vehicle and reach the end of your journey? You'll have to try to find out. And this game also features vehicle upgrades and maintenance as well, so there is a bit more to the game than just pondering around and making decisions. Now, there's quite a lot of adventure games around, but this one's quite unique. It's got really good reviews and it seems really popular, and I'm not surprised. The idea is pretty different and unique, and I like the idea of it. Either way though, if you like the sound of taking on this adventure and journey, and trying to make it to the end, then you'll probably really enjoy this game. The story sounds interesting to me as well, and if it's as good as I think it is, I think it'll be really intriguing and fun for the people that play it. So if you like the sound of it as much as I do, why not take a look at it? The art style and graphics are really cool as well, and I think there's a lot of good content in this game for people that play it. And hey, if you've never played an adventure game before, then you could start here. It's a very different and unique game from the genre, so if you're not interested in it, there's plenty more options for you to choose from, so you don't have to pick this one. But hey, if you're as intrigued as I am, then it's a great place to start. It's very different and unique, and it's at a really low price as well, so you can't ask for much more really if you're interested in it as much as I am. But hey, if you'd rather something else, like I said, there's plenty of options, so just watch the videos in the future, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. We have an RPG next, Gamedec Definitive Edition. It was released in 2023, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 76% discount for the price of £7.19, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, especially as this game is a PS5 game as well, although it's not on PS4, so if you don't have a PS4, you can't play it unfortunately. This RPG is set in a future lived within virtual worlds where you are a Gamedec, a game detective, specialized in cyberspace investigation. You must use your unique skills to gather information and interrogate witnesses and suspects to solve a variety of crimes, which sounds like a really cool idea for a game. I'm a big fan of detective and mystery games, and one that's in a sci-fi RPG setting just sounds really cool and unique and intriguing to me. It's nice to see people making games that are outside of the box again these days, and it just looks like a really good quality game from a company that wanted to make something different and cool, which is great. So if you're a fan of detective games, especially mystery ones, and sci-fi and futuristic stuff, then you'll probably really enjoy this. If you're into investigation and getting lost in worlds, then you'll probably have a lot of fun with this. It's got really great reviews, people seem to really enjoy it. It sounds like a really cool game, and it looks like it's got a lot of good quality to it as well. My gut feeling says it's a gem. So if you like the sound of it as much as I do, why not take a look at it? It might just be the coolest game you've found in ages. And hey, if you've never played an RPG before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. It sounds like a really cool game and is at a really good price at the moment, especially considering it's a PS5 game, but you can get other bigger AAA ones for about the same price, and even massive legendary franchises as well. There's a massive amount of RPGs around, and there's so much difference between them that you're basically better off picking the one that you really like the look of, or one that's a really good deal if you don't really mind. Either way, you can get better deals, so you're much better off starting with one of them instead. But don't worry, I'll let you know when they're on sale next, so just don't miss the videos, and then you won't miss out. We have a really cool game next, Ghostwire. It was released in 2019, so it's 6 years old, and is on at least an 80% discount for the price of £3.99 or £2.99 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for a really cool and interesting looking game. This stealth action game is set in a world run by rats, where you get to play as Mouse Tilo, who must escape from the dungeons of Dwindling Heights Keep, and search for your lost love Mera. It features an awesome art style, RPG elements, and exploration as well. Now, when this game came out, it was a bit of an indie darling. People really loved it. I'm not sure if that's because it's a mouse, which is really cute, and the world being really interesting to people, or whether it's just because it's a really good quality game. Either way though, it had rave reviews and people really loved it when it came out. And these days they don't really make a lot of stealth action games, so if you like the idea of playing a cute little mouse in a world run by evil rats, and you really like stealth action games, then why not take a look at this? It looks like a really cool game with a really unique world and some really cool and interesting graphics and aesthetics to the characters. So if you're as interested by this as all of the people that seem to love it, then why not take a look? I think it's quite different, and I wish more people had known about it, because I think it deserves to be a really big hit, and it's just never got the publicity it deserved. So if you like the look of it, check it out. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it, if you give it a chance. And hey, if you've never played a stealth action game before, then you could start here if you want. There's not a massive amount of games in this genre, and this looks like a really cool and unique one that's at a really good price as well. It looks like it's got really high production values for an indie game, and I think it's just really good value for money. So if you're into this genre and you like the sound of it, then why not check it out? I think you could have a lot of fun with this game if you pick it up. We have an action-packed game next, Ghostwire Tokyo. It was released in 2022, so it's 3 years old, and is on a 75% discount for the price of $14.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal, as this game is PS5 only, and includes the free DLC expansions, including new areas, new mode, abilities, enemies, and even more for free, which is really great that they're giving you so much content without making you pay for it. I wish more games would do this. That's like the golden age of games back in the day. You used to get free updates all the time, which is really great. This is an open-world action RPG, set after Tokyo's population vanishes mysteriously, and the streets are flooded with supernatural forces, and you must use an arsenal of elemental abilities to fight the horrors and unravel the truth behind everyone's disappearance. Now, the action gameplay is really unique in this. It's based around magic and spells, so there's no guns and knives and that sort of thing. It's all hand gestures and elemental attacks and flames and hexes and that sort of stuff, which is really cool. It's got a really cool Neo Tokyo vibe to it as well. And the setting goes really well with the Japanese demons and ghosts. All in all, it's just a really nice package of a game. So if you're into really cool, high quality AAA action RPGs, why not take a look at this? It's a really cool game, especially if you're into spooky or horror themes as well, then I bet you'll have a lot of fun with this game. All in all, it's just a good quality game that's at a pretty decent price right now. So if you like the sound of it, definitely check it out. I think you're getting a lot of game for your money with this one. And hey, if you've never played an open world RPG before, then I wouldn't recommend starting with this one. It's a really good quality AAA game, but it's still pretty pricey at the moment. You can get other ones cheaper, and even legendary ones for half this price as well. So you're much better off starting with one of them instead. So unless you're really interested in this game, keep up with the videos, and then you'll have other options to choose from in the future. We have a unique game next, How to Escape. It was released in 2023, so it was 2 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £2.39, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good price for a really cool and interesting game. This game is a 2-player puzzle escape room, where you awake on a moving train, and your only hope of escape is to solve the puzzles throughout the train, to reach the brake lever, and your freedom. It's based around 2 players working together, where one player plays on the console, and another player plays on a phone app to solve the puzzles together. So it's 2-player, but you don't play split screen or anything like that. One of you's on your phone or tablet, I guess, and the other's on the console. So it's kind of asymmetrical multiplayer. But either way, it's a really cool spin on a puzzle room genre, and I think it's quite fresh. So if you've got a friend, family, or partner to play puzzle games with, and you really enjoy different or unique puzzle games, this is very different and unique. And I think it'll be a lot of fun for people that play these sorts of games together. It's a niche genre, But hey, if it fits you, I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one. So if you like the sound of it, definitely check it out. It's very different, and I think you'll have a lot of fun playing together. And hey, if you've never played a 2-player puzzle escape room game before, because there can't be many of them around, then I'd definitely recommend starting here. It's a very unique spin on the genre, and it's at a really low price as well, so you can't really ask for much more. If you're interested in this, definitely take a look. But if not, don't worry, there's plenty more games and genres for you to choose from instead. Our next game is Minute of Islands. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the price of £2.39, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal for a really cool little game. In this puzzle platformer, you get to play as Mo, a tinkerer who lives in an archipelago once inhabited by giants, and their otherworldly ancient machines below the islands must be kept functioning, or the threat they guard against will destroy everything forever. The art style for this is very different and unique. I quite like the art style, and I think it's pretty cool. Also, I like the sound of the story. I like a mystery, and having this whole hidden history below the earth, I think is really cool, and uncovering that along the story, I think will be a lot of fun, and it'll be intriguing along the way. Now, you know I'm a big fan of puzzle platformers, and there's a lot of them around for a reason. They're quite popular, and I think a lot of people enjoy them as much as I do. So if you like the art style and the story as much as I do, why not check this game out? It intrigues me, and my gut says it's a really good quality game. So if you like it as much as I do, definitely take a look at it. And hey, if you never played a puzzle platformer before, then you could start here if you're really interested in this one. It's not the cheapest one around, but it's cheap enough that you're not losing a lot of money on it. You can get other bigger AAA ones for a little bit more than this, but hey, this looks like a good quality game for a fair price, so if this one's piqued your interest, why not check it out? But if not, don't worry, there'll be plenty more for you to choose from in future videos instead. Up next is my star by MotoGP 24, PS4 and PS5. It was released in 2024, obviously, so it's only 1 year old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of $11.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal considering this edition includes the PS4 and PS5 versions, and because it's really new as well. Usually games aren't this cheap this quick, so this is a pretty good deal. In this racing game, you get to challenge your racing abilities in MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3, and Moto-E competitions as well. It features all of the official content, tracks, and races, with an exhilarating campaign where you shape your own legacy in MotoGP history. Now, in general, there is quite a lot of MotoGP games around. Not all of them have the officially licensed content, but this one includes a lot. It includes a lot of the different divisions and competitions, which is really cool, and the fact that it includes the new electric ones as well, that's pretty good. It seems to me like they really care, and they keep adding new features to it. You could learn something from that, EA. Do better with FIFA and stuff. It's been the same game forever. And this game's really new as well. It's practically the newest one out. So if you're a fan of MotoGP, or you just like racing games, or bikes in general, then you should definitely take a look at this one. It's got a lot of official content included, and just generally has a load of content, and also a really cool sounding campaign as well. So if you really wanted to live your dream as a racer, then why not take a look at this? I think it's got a lot of content for people that love this sort of thing, and if you're into bikes and especially MotoGP, I think you'll really enjoy this one. So why not take a look if you like the sound of it? Like I said, it's my star buy. It's well worth your time and money, I promise. Definitely take a look at it. And hey, if you never played a racing game before, then you could start here if you're really into MotoGP or bikes in general. But if not, and you don't really mind what you're racing, or whether it's realistic, sim, or just cartoony arcade action, then you'll be better off starting with something else instead, because you can get a lot of really good quality racing games for cheaper than this, and even big AAA legendary ones as well, depending on what sort of racing you're into. So if you're not particularly into MotoGP, you'll have plenty of options to choose from in this sale and other videos, so don't forget to come back, and then you won't miss out in the future. We have a cool game next, Resident Evil Revelations. It was released in 2017, so it's 8 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £3.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal, as this edition includes all of the DLC and content, and it even has improved 1080p visuals as well, which is really great. You're getting the complete version of the game, with all of the content included, and the best version of the game as well, which is great. In this survival horror, you get to follow Jill Valentine as she explores a ghost ship in search of her old partner, Chris Redfield, but you soon find yourself trapped by horrific monsters as you uncover the truth behind the destruction of a floating city. Now, Resident Evil's a huge franchise, and I'm a big fan of them. I'm not into horror or survival games in general, but hey, they were a big deal when I was a kid, so I've spent a lot of time with this franchise through people in my life, so it's kind of special to me because of that. Now, in general, 1, 2, and 3 are the ones that everyone holds dearest and are the legendary ones, and even though the new ones are really good as well, they do go from the original formula a little bit. But this one's quite original, and what I mean by that is the gameplay and the way it plays is very similar to 1, 2, and 3. So if you're a big fan of them and you want something more similar to them than the newer ones, then take a look at this. I think a lot of people that like this franchise, or even survival horrors in general, overlook this one, and I think that's a shame because I think it's a really good game from the franchise. So if you're into Resident Evil or survival horrors in general, check this one out. It may not be one of the most well-known games from the series, but it deserves to be, because it's a great game. So why not take a look at it? And hey, if you never played a survival horror before, then you could start here if you wanted to. It's a really good game from a really legendary franchise, but you can get other ones for about the same price, and even bigger games as well. So you do have a lot of options, and the world's your oyster really. There's a huge amount of survival horror games around, and the variety is staggering. So if you like the look of this one, then why not go for it? But if not, you'll have so many options to choose from that it'll be hard to make a decision. Either way though, keep watching the videos, and you'll have a lot more to choose from in the future as well. Senran Kagura Burst Renewal Shinobi Rivals Edition is our next game. It was released in 2019, so it's 6 years old, and is on an 88% discount for the price of £5.39, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as this edition includes the OST, the Yumi character, an additional story mission, 2 outfits, and a diorama set as well. So you're getting a really good game with a load of extra content included, which is really great, especially at this price. This game is a beat-em-up, and is built on the Estival Versus engine, with enhanced visuals and new full 3D levels and combat, where you get to control over 20 playable characters in shinobi-based combat. It features a story playable from 2 perspectives, with 150 cosmetics, and a diorama mode as well. Now, in general, they don't make a lot of beat-em-ups these days, and I don't think there's many 3D ones either. Most of them are 2D, left-to-right scrolling beat-em-ups. Old school. This one's very different. It's a 3D one, it's a lot more like an action RPG really in the gameplay, but it's a beat 'em up. Now if you're a fan of anime characters, then you'll have a lot of fun with this as well. It features a load of anime ninjas, and there's a load of anime content based around that as well, with a ton of cosmetics and a load of characters to play as. There's a load to collect and change and customize, so if you're into these sorts of games, you'll have a lot of fun with that as well. So hey, if you're a big fan of beat 'em ups or you just like anime games, this is a really good deal, and you're getting a lot of content for your money. So if you like the look of this game, or you're a big fan of beat 'em ups, why not check it out? It's a very different game, but you could have a lot of fun with this if you're into these sorts of games. So why not take a look? And hey, if you've never played a beat 'em up game before, then I'm not sure I'd recommend starting here. It's a really new, big game from a pretty AAA franchise, at a really good price with a load of content. But it depends on how you feel about anime really. If anime's not for you and you don't like games that are anime inspired or from Japan in general, then you'll probably not enjoy this game. But hey, if you like that sort of stuff, and you're interested in beat 'em ups, then why not take a look at this one? You're getting a lot of content for your money, and if you're into anime and Japan, then you'll probably really enjoy this. So why not take a look if you like the sound of it? You'll know if it's your sort of thing, and if it is, you'll have a lot of fun with this one. So why not check it out? Up next we have Warriors All-Stars. It was released in 2017, so it's 8 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £9.59, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal considering how expensive it normally is. In this hack and slash game, you get to play as a character from a variety of properties, each with their own unique attacks and hero skills in vast epic melee battles. It features 30 characters, multiple endings, and a mixture of new and familiar game mechanics as well. So fans of the series will really like this, but also there's some new stuff to spice it up, which is great. Now, if you're not aware, Warriors is from a massive franchise of games, including the Samurai Warriors games, but also Dynasty Warriors games, which are older than that really. These games are huge games where you get to fight in massive battles. I mean massive battles. Imagine like medieval scale warfare, so thousands of people fighting with swords, spears, all sorts of stuff. You get to fight in those battles, and that's a lot of fun. They're hack and slash, so the gameplay might not be the most complex, but hey, there's some strategy with where you get to place your character and where you go in the battle to try and turn the tide. I love the series. I used to play it back on PlayStation 2, and I've played a load of them over the years, and they may be a bit simple, but they're so much fun. The hack and slash gameplay is great. This version of the game, like I said, is the All-Stars, so it's the same gameplay you know and love from the franchise, but it's mixed in a load of all-star characters from a load of different franchises. So if you're a big fan of the Warrior series and you want something a bit different with some cool and unusual fighters, then why not take a look at this? It's definitely not going to be for everyone. Fans of the series will probably like it because it's the same old game but with a bit of spice and difference to it. And if you've never played it before, it's probably going to be very confusing for you, so don't worry about it. But hey, it's a really cool game from a really cool franchise that's been around forever. So if you like the look of it, why not check it out? It's a cool spin on a very good franchise. And hey, if you've never played a hack and slash game before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. It's a good game, but it's a weird game from the franchise it's a part of, and also it's not that cheap either. There's plenty more games in this franchise you could start with in general, and they'd be more friendly to newbies. And also, in this genre there's a load more games that you can get cheaper than this as well, even massive AAA ones. So you're much better off starting with one of them instead. And the final game I have for you is Wavetale. It was released in 2022, so it's 3 years old, and it's on at least an 85% discount for the price of £3.74 or £2.49 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal for a really good looking game. In this action-adventure, after you meet a mysterious shadow, you are gifted with the ability to walk and ride on water as you set out to explore a decaying archipelago as you fight to save the islands from monstrous enemies. Now I'm surprised I've never heard of this game before because it looks really cool. I mean, it's clearly an indie game which, doesn't get much publicity, but this looks like a really cool and interesting action adventure with a decent story and really cool gameplay. I really like the idea of wave riding and having water abilities, and it just screams really good quality. I'm so surprised more people don't know about this game and that it didn't get more publicity. It seems really popular and it's got great reviews, so it's a shame the word of mouth didn't spread the game around a bit more, because it looks like a hidden gem that more people need to know about. So if you're into action adventures and you really like the idea of wave riding and exploring an archipelago, then why not take a look at this game? It's a really cool hidden gem, I think, and my gut feeling says it's a really great game. So if you like the sound of it as much as I do, why not take a look at it? It might just be the best game we've found in ages. And hey, if you've never played an action adventure before, then you could start here. It looks like a really decent game at a really low price. So if you're interested by it, why not check it out? But if not, don't worry, there's loads of games in this genre and you've got so many to choose from that you'll have plenty more options in the future. So don't miss the videos, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. And that's all the games I have for the Planet of the Discounts PSN sale. What did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the start buy? Did it deserve it, or just some other game I've got it instead? Leave all your comments below and we can talk about it later. Anyway, I hope you found some really cool games to play, but more importantly I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Wavetale.